there are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search Apply to Teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
When your friends walk in and see the model of Sebastian Vettel's Red Bull F1 car that's over 2 feet long, they're gonna freak. When you tell them it's radio controlled, they're gonna love it. Then when you tell them you built it yourself, they will be blown away. Build and race a 1/7 scale model of Sebastian Vettel's championship-winning RB7 Formula One car from modelspace.com. Even if you're a novice, the instructions are clear and concise with full-color photographs and extra videos online to guide you throughout the build. And how about this for detail? The kit comes with hydraulic fluid so you can build the shock absorbers yourself. Order now and you'll get the fuel bottle and RC controller free with your kit. Go online and check out all the free gifts, the amazing detail of the model, and download a sample of the build guide. Your friends won't believe it even when they see it. Start building your RC model today. Go online to buildrb7.com. Buildrb, the number 7.com. Buildrb7.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You are listening to Gamer Tag Radio with your hosts Godfrey, Pete Rock, Paris, Pasta. Come on. Yeah.
Welcome to Gamer Tag Radio episode 497. This is your host Godfrey. And also, let me go with Danny. I think Danny will be more professional, I guess, right? No? Anyways, I'm back. Yes, I'm back here. I know you guys missed me, but you know what? First of all, props to Patrick for hosting the show last week. Great job, man. Great job. And yeah, we have Patrick here. What's up?
Oh, I didn't mean to jump in early, but yeah, good to have you back, Danny. I held down the fort while you were gone. I think we did pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Co-host
You guys did.
Introduced you.
I liked it. I loved it. I think you guys did an amazing job. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also we have Paris. Paris, what's up?
I noticed when you said Patrick, you really paused on that P because I think you wanted to say Peter Paris.
No.
You were like, you said because you always screw up the names every time. It's so funny.
It's the P's, man. Too many P's up in here, man. Yeah, we don't have Pete this week, so yeah. I think there's going to be less Destiny talk, which is great.
That's what you think.
I don't know, but actually, there's a lot of news this week.
Yeah, it's cool. I know we can talk about it later. God, I know everybody out there like, man,
it doesn't
either
end.
They're sick of Destiny talk or they love Destiny talk.
We got to talk about Destiny for 10 more years. Bungie said this.
Yeah, that's true.
We can't stop playing this game.
Man, so I'm going to be in my 50s? 60s? I don't know.
Today on Destiny Talk Radio.
Destiny. Yeah, man. So head over to gamertagradio.com, post your comments, feedback, listen to our past episodes, or also head over to play.it. We have our GTR content over there, man. So yeah, share it with your friends, all that good stuff, man. And as you can find us also iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, if you have the beta, which they haven't launched worldwide yet. But if you do, follow us through there or any other podcast platforms, go for it, review us, and share it and stuff. So give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Fan mail at gamertagradio.com. Very quick, because I wasn't here last week, because I was at Podcast Movement. I finally went to the awards, the Academy of Podcasters. And I have to say this, man. That was a life-changing experience going over there, man. It was really, really cool meeting podcasters from around the world. There was people there that I met from New Zealand, from like Europe, Israel, from everywhere, man. That was awesome, man. I had a great time over there, man. And I know you guys got to see the speech, right? The acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was very touched, Danny. Thank you.
Thanks.
I like the Voltron reference, by the way.
Yeah, right. That was cool.
Old school.
And here's the crazy part. I'm gonna say a quick story before we actually talk about everything. But it was, how I say this, the whole day I was very hyped. I was like, oh man, I'm ready. I have a speech. I have everything written down. So then I went backstage, and when I was backstage, it was Roman Mars. He is the host of 99% Invisible, one of my favorite podcasts out there. Love that. Love it. And I talked to him very quick. I'm like, hey, man, your Sims episode, the Sims Online, amazing. One of my favorite episodes from the podcast. So we were talking, whatever. And he went up. It was his turn to go on stage. I'm like, all right, I'm there getting ready. And they gave me the trophy, right? They gave me the award. And I'm like, oh, my God, wait a minute. I'm about to cry. Like, what? No, you can't cry. You can't cry backstage. So they were saying, okay, Cole Cabana is going to introduce you. He has a great intro about you, and then you have to go out there and just do your acceptance speech. I'm like, okay. So I'm there looking at the screen, like what everybody is seeing, right? So then I go up to the stage once they announce my name, and literally, dude, I was about to cry, and I was like, no, don't cry, one more time, right? So then I grabbed my phone, I had my speech. And I went off script. Like, I couldn't read it either. I was just like out of it, And I there was people that I really wanted to mention, and it was just that moment that I basically freestyled the whole thing, man. Mentioning you guys, mentioning everybody that was part of GTR in the past, and then at the end, I mentioned my dad's story, and then at the end, I was like, look, I wanted to thank Trixie, because she helped us get our name out there right after our first episode got released. So I mentioned that, and I just cried after that, man. So it was life changing, man. A lot of people came up to me and said thanks for me doing that, and they never heard GTR, and now they're gonna listen to the show because of that, And I met a lot of great people over there, man. So I'm definitely going to go to the one next year that's in Chicago. So I'm really, really excited for that, man. So you guys been in Chicago before? I've never been to Chicago. This is going to be my first time going over there.
I actually have. I went when I was 14. It was like my first out-of-state trip way back in the day. And I thought it was amazing because it was the first large city I'd ever really been in. So yeah, it's a cool place. I'd love to go back. It was 10 years ago for God's sakes.
I'm definitely going to go over there. Paris, you would like to go to Chicago? No, next year?
No,
it's the week. It's the week of my birthday. So.
Let's not forget, some of our people are in Chicago. That's where the Spawn on Me guys are.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man, that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, we can go to Chicago. No, I'm looking forward to it. I actually, like you said, you did the speech and everything, and I got to watch the video. I mean, the tears were real. I mean, when you gave a shout out to Trixie like that, that was just so awesome. And I don't think we've ever really talked about it on this podcast, but Trixie, formerly of Xbox, I mean, she's battling cancer right now. I mean, just seeing all her updates on social media has always been so inspiring that she's been going through this. But yeah, dude, it got me for sure.
Yeah, and you know why I did that, man? Because I feel like she was really, really supportive in the community, for not only us, but everyone. And I just wanted to do that just to say thank you, because she got our name out there. She not only our name, but everybody else too. Paris, you were on her Inside Xbox and all that stuff, right? Like,
well, I got to tell a story. I got to tell a story about that real quick. Just since we're talking about Trixie, we love you, Krista. But before that, I did that whole Inside Xbox thing because she was out here it was the Grammys. It was that weekend, right? And she had hit me up because she knew I lived out here and was like, "Hey, you want to be on Inside Xbox?" And I'm like, "Of course I do, right?" So I went up to LA, met up with her, and I wound up having dinner with her before we did it. So we just sat, we had dinner. It's like I really got to know her. You know what I mean? Because before it was, oh, that's Trixie, Xbox, you see her at an event or whatever, fine. But I actually got to know the person behind her. And yeah, we've been tight ever since, man. So yeah, she's real good people for people that don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, follow her, Trixie360 on Twitter. She's there, man. Awesome peeps, man. So we love you, Krista. All right, so man, let's talk about this, man. Gamescom. Woo! Lots of announcements, man. From Xbox, Jesus Christ, that was a lot of announcements, man. Like, I was not expecting, like, I knew they had some goodies, but man, this was like a press conference is like 10 times better than last year's, Of course, they had Scalebound, Crackdown, Quantum Break. Like, yeah, I know for sure they're going to show that, but what about the surprises? They had a lot of surprises, man. A lot. And I think they did it the right way. Just start with the exclusive. They did all that, man. And I love the news about the DVR stuff. What was the other thing too? Oh my God, at the end when they talked about Halo Wars 2, that blew my mind. I'm a huge fan of the first one. I think they did a great job, man. What about you guys?
All right, here's the thing.
What's a lot of announcements?
Here's the thing, Danny. I know you're super excited about this, but just like I said last week, Miss Cleo, what I said last week was Xbox, a second place Microsoft is a good thing for gaming, period. Because what we saw at Gamescom is Microsoft is, you look at their lineup going into the end of 2016. It's stacked. It's great. So if you're an Xbox One owner, that's fantastic. What this also does with the fact that they're integrating Windows 10, all the features that we're starting to see that they're building into the Xbox One, it's almost a no-brainer. If you don't have an Xbox One now, it's almost a no-brainer. If you can afford one, go get one because it has a fantastic exclusive lineup. Obviously, the third-party games are going to be there as well. But the other thing that this does is it just put Sony on notice. Just put PlayStation on notice. I mean, they now need to... Look, they're going to have a strong lineup in 2016, no doubt, but they need to come with it too to keep the momentum going that they're having. And just like I said last week, I really could give two craps about this whole fanboy console war nonsense because you saw a lot of that stuff on social media after Gamescom. But I walked away from Gamescom looking at what Microsoft specifically did and said, okay, 2016 for me personally is the new 2007. On just overall, when you look at all the games on every platform that's coming out in 2016, it is freaking stacked. This is truly the start of next gen when we get to that. And I'm sure we'll talk a little more about Crackdown and all that kind of stuff. But just some of the things that we're seeing on the technical side with gaming is what excited me. Now, the DVR stuff, didn't really excite me that much.
Cool. I like it.
You cut me off.
I'm sorry.
He has to. That's what he does. Go on, Paris.
I was trying to make a point about the DVR. What I'm saying is, it's not that great of a feature for me personally because it's not like it's going to work with my DirecTV or anything. It's only for over-the-air broadcast. But the technology behind it is fantastic because you'll be able to take those recordings, stream them to all your Windows 10 devices, take them on the go, download them, the whole thing. So I mean that part of it's great. Yeah. But oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just breathing.
Hey. But just like you said at the jump, I mean, I'm very happy to see what Microsoft did, with their Gamescom presentation. I think the games that we saw may not necessarily be for everyone, they may not necessarily be for me, but there's something there for everyone is what I'm trying to say.
Like remember Paris, we were having a conversation over the phone and I was telling you like, look, yes, the middle part of the press conference was kind of like whatever because those are not, besides the indie games I like, but like the sports and stuff, that's not my type of thing. But guess what? FIFA, they have a huge audience in Europe. So yeah, they made the right decision to show that there, make some announcement about that game and stuff. But I think overall, the press conference, they had everything for everyone. Not into Scalebound, hey, you might like Quantum Break. If you're not into Quantum Break, hey, we have Halo 5 here. Like they have everything. And I think we need that from companies. Show us why we should get this besides having the same type of content over and over and over again. And at the same time, like, look, I love the Sony press conference, right? But here's the thing that I was a little bit like kind of like, they were showing a lot of games that was coming out years from now. Shenmue and Final Fantasy, those are games that I'm really, really excited about. But I like when companies like Nintendo and Microsoft are showing games that's coming out either this year or next year. Show me more of that. I think that will get me even more excited to not only buy the console, but also the games, so...
When your friends walk in and see the model of Sebastian Vettel's Red Bull F1 car that's over 2 feet long, they're gonna freak. When you tell them it's radio controlled, they're gonna love it. Then when you tell them you built it yourself, They will be blown away. Build and race a 1/7 scale model of Sebastian Vettel's championship-winning RB7 Formula One car from modelspace.com. Even if you're a novice, the instructions are clear and concise with full-color photographs and extra videos online to guide you throughout the build. And how about this for detail? The kit comes with hydraulic fluid so you can build the shock absorbers yourself. Order now and you'll get the fuel bottle and RC controller free with your kit. Go online and check out all the free gifts, the amazing detail of the model, and download a sample of the build guide. Your friends won't believe it even when they see it. Start building your RC model today. Go online to buildrb7.com. Buildrb7.com. Buildrb7.com.
You're listening to Gamer Tag Radio.
Possibly, I know they made some announcements of games that are going to get you excited too. You know, Killer Instinct Season 3, I know you're into the fighting game. I don't know if you're going to buy that or not. But Scalebound looked awesome. You got to see the videos of that?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I watched everything. I actually went ahead and watched it again today before we recorded, so it's fresh in my mind. But I mean, I just got to say this. My expectations going into this were flatlined, steamrolled, and destroyed by what Microsoft showed. And I'm not trying to be a fanboy, but just the feelings that they evoked out of me was the kind of stuff I felt 10 years ago as a teenager watching E3 at home, you know, dreaming one day I'm going to go to that, but like, you know, how am I actually going to get out there? I had that same reaction to some of those things, and namely the big three that we talked about going into this, Crackdown 3, Scalebound, and Quantum Break. Seeing gameplay of those completely justified my purchase of my Xbox One, because for a while now I've been really sleeping on my Xbox. It's just not been used at all. Now Rare Replay has brought me back into that, and we'll talk about that later. But seeing what they have right around the horizon and the technology that they showed off and what they're doing to make the Xbox One stand out as opposed from the PlayStation, as opposed from Nintendo, and as opposed from PC gaming as well, it blew my mind. It really did. That was the kind of stuff that I expected when I heard they were making an next-gen Xbox, was things like that, experiences like that I can't get anywhere else, especially things like, if we're going to talk later about Crackdown's use of the cloud, the Microsoft cloud, to improve the system's own processor speed. Just stuff like that is what makes me excited to be a console gamer. And pretty much everything that they showed, everything that they showed except the sports titles got me really, really excited that I want to put my hands and play on this stuff. Sorry, what were you saying, Bears?
I just want to take you back about 18 months when you declared that Microsoft would never have anything that you want to play, and you just ripped the system. And I told you then, they will eventually have something you want to play. So to hear you say all this kind of stuff just makes me laugh. That's all. I just want to throw that in there.
No, they totally got me, and I'll owe up to it. I assumed that it would be something like Halo 5 that would make me excited, but literally that's like kind of the last of my list right now compared to what they showed. I mean, even the new footage of Tomb Raider was really, really good. I love that style of, you know, you against a superior force trying to survive. I love that gameplay, what they showed of Quantum Break, of how they're trying to reinvent a third-person shooter, Scalebound's use of, you know, large destructible environments, having a large teammate you can control. So all of that stuff together just really just made me excited to be an Xbox gamer. And, you know, I love my PlayStation 4, obviously. I mean, I love my Nintendo 3DS. Look forward to games on those. But really, like as Danny said, and you said too, Bears, this is in Sony's camp now. They need to respond to this because Microsoft has officially impressed me, and now I am very excited for the rest of this year, and even more so for next year as well. So, I mean, just hats off to Microsoft. What they showed really, they brought it. They brought it even more than I thought they would. I think they came harder than they did at E3, honestly.
Yeah, and let's not forget. And let's not forget, because I think this is important as well, is the fact that November, full backwards compatibility for all their first-party games and all the third-party games that the publishers are on board with. Again, they announced it at E3, but they reinforced it here at Gamescom, and that's a bigger deal than what I think a lot of people may not necessarily, I can't even talk today, but what people may realize, because this is now will allow 360 owners that may or may not have been sure about jumping to the next gen because they had all these games they wanted to play. They now know they can safely go to an Xbox One and they're going to be able to keep playing their games. You know, like look at the Gears of War Ultimate Edition announcement that they came out right before Gamescom started. The fact that if you just play Gears of War Ultimate before 2016, they're going to give you Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment backwards compatible for free. Here you go. Take them. You know, those are the kind of things that I'd like to see from Microsoft, because it's, you know, like I mentioned, I feel like 2016 is going to be the new 2007 when it comes to just the gaming industry and the community as a whole. Ever since Phil Spencer took over Xbox, I'm starting to get that feeling I had back in 2007, 2008, if that makes sense to you guys, where I felt like I was a part of the process. You know what I mean? That's what I will give Microsoft props on, because, like, look, they did the whole Fan Fest thing again at Gamescom, 500 people. They put them on a boat and they sailed around Germany and all that kind of stuff. And they're making, I know they're making people feel like they're a part of the gaming community again. So, like you said, hats off to them. Now, before we forget, we got to talk about Quantum Break and Crackdown, because I think there was definitely some things that came out of both of those presentations that I found interesting.
Yes.
And I guess since I'm talking, I might as well jump into it. So with Quantum Break, the thing that blew me away was we now see what the delay was all about. They've completely redone what that game was from when it was originally announced. I mean, the fact that they now have known actors, you know, in all these roles, and TV, like when I was watching it live, I was, you know, in the chat, you know, thinking, I thought they took the TV stuff out completely, but turns out they didn't. Instead, you now got Sean Ashmore and Littlefinger and, you know, Lance Reddick and all these guys, like, actually doing the live action stuff along with being digitized into the game as well. And I gotta say, the whole time freezing gameplay aspect that they were showing looked interesting to me. I'll say this: Quantum Break was a game that I really didn't care about, but after seeing it at Gamescom, it is at least on my radar now. I definitely want to know more about it.
Well, I love Remedy. I mean, I'm a huge Alan Wake fan. I
Max
love that
my
game.
Favorite series ever. But yeah, well, I agree with you, Paris. I was the same way. I assumed Quantum Break from the beginning would be some kind of atypical story-like experience, like maybe in the vein of, you know, Beyond Two Souls or something like that, where it's like, you know, more of an interactive experience than a game. But what I saw was very much a game. More importantly, it was a third-person shooter that was trying new things, and it looked like, you know, just that little part, not only would be challenging, but it'd be engaging as well. And a good part about the TV, that was something I assumed I would roll my eyes at, like the other things they've tried to do in the past, like Defiant, stuff like that. That looked high quality. And more importantly, it's not locked away. I don't have to go seek it out online. It just, as you make a decision, this is what blew my mind. As you make a key decision in the game, it changes and unlocks the episode of the show that they filmed. They filmed multiple episodes in case of what choice you made. It would play that episode and the story would react to you. So your experience would be different when you talk to somebody than what their experience was, both in the game aspect and the TV show aspect. And while on paper that sounds super cheesy, but what I saw, that's something I want to watch. I want to watch that show. I want to know more about the villains. I want to know more about the heroes. I love the concept of the time experiment going wrong and you figuring out bits and pieces as the story goes on. Like, that is good storytelling with some good actors. That makes me excited. It makes it a AAA experience and a AAA title. And I'm more impressed by that, honestly, than I thought it would. Even given Remedy's track record, which is fantastic, they really did something special this time around. And as you know, the progress shows as we follow the development of it, I really think this will be something special. But yeah, props to them for really, you know, breaking new ground for something that, you know, we all assumed would be kind of a throwaway component of the game, but is actually a core feature of the story. Like, that's awesome.
And at the same time, these are new IPs.
Yes.
Most important.
Quantum Break and Scalebound, you know, because the issue that we were having last gen was a lot of companies were releasing the same game, Call of Duty, Halo, over and over. You know, where are the new IPs? And I remember the first time Phil Spencer went on stage, he said that they have a lot of money they're going to invest on new IPs. And seeing that, of them making games like, having games like, you know, Quantum Break and Scalebound, that gets me excited for the future, man. You know, we're going to see a lot of games that is going to make us, like, just enjoy, have like a brand new type of experience, you know? So I'm very, very excited about that, man. Yeah, very excited.
And here's the other thing, the last thing on Quantum Break before we move on, is this is another classic example why if a developer's not happy with their game, don't force them to rush it out. Let them take their time. They took this delay, and it's very apparent just from seeing the gameplay demo. They made a better game. They had a game that when I saw it a year ago, I was like, I don't see me really playing this. To now I'm watching it and I was like, wait, when does this come out again? April? All right, maybe I'll pick this up then. So the delay, this was a good thing. And I hope publishers and developers take note of this and we see more of this in the future, because I'm more than willing to wait on a game to get it right versus rushing it out and then I wind up hating it. You know what I mean? Batman PC. But Crackdown, because Boston alluded to this, I definitely wanted to bring this point up.
We should talk about this. Go ahead.
They mentioned the freaking cloud. Like, I remember I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, wait, they said the cloud again, because I've been joking. I've been joking around for probably the last year. Like, man, that cloud show did disappear. Where the cloud at? Where the cloud at? And here they are showing a game, and they're actually showing why the cloud matters, because when you play this 4-player co-op, 100% destructible environments versus offline, you have somewhat limited destructible environments. So this is a clear-cut case of where the cloud is actually coming in and enhancing our gaming experience. And look, if Microsoft is able to pull off this technology and we see it being implemented in more games, I'm all for it. But Games Radar, I know you're a media company, you're a journalist, you're well respected and all that. Do not in your article say that this now makes the Xbox One the most powerful gaming console on the planet. Because I could not. It's like, are you kidding me? Don't say things like that.
Was there a reason why they say that though? Why they said that?
Because of the cloud.
Because the processing power is technically infinite because of the cloud.
All right, when the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 came out, and the last gen, the 360 wasn't powerful like the PlayStation 3.
No.
Because to me, the PlayStation 3 was a powerful hardware. But the Xbox 360 was more of a software type system. Like, they were better with the software than anything else.
The 360 was easier to develop for than the PlayStation 3 because of the cell processor.
Yeah. So now with this one,
versus one.
Again, PlayStation 4 is powerful, of course. Now, the flip side is the Xbox One is a little bit difficult to develop compared to the 360, but at the same time, they have the software. They have it there. Yes, it's not like exactly like powerful as a PlayStation 4, but to me, I think having the software to me is more important, because if you can manage to do new things that your competition can't do, then why not? I think that's great, man.
Let's be clear. It's not Microsoft that's touting they're now the most powerful console or anything.
No.
This was Games Radar saying that. I guess my point is, and like Paulson alluded to, it's just clickbait. It's just all it is just going to get people all in a little tizzy on Twitter. Wait.
Are you telling me that they put that as a headline title?
Yeah. Remember, I sent you the link. Yeah.
Because I thought it was like the story, like they quoted like somewhere around the article, but man, they actually put that as
no. Let me clarify. No, it's not. That was not the title, but it was a quote directly in the article, though, like you're saying. So if you're reading the article and you see that, and the only reason I even knew about it was because guess what? Someone read the article and that was a headline right on NeoGAF, and then I saw it on Twitter again. So it started making the rounds today. But I guess my point, the overall point I'm trying to make is this: yes, the cloud feature is a great piece of tech. It's fantastic that Microsoft is able to use this. I want to see it in more games, abso-freaking-lutely. But as we learned in the last console generation, power does not matter. It's the quality of the games, period. So who cares who's more powerful? It's all about making great games. That's it.
Yeah. And for me, if anything, this announcement of the cloud support, if that is an indicator of future uses of that by other developers and publishers, that to me, more importantly, it can extend the life of the Xbox One. Because already it kind of feels like this is going to be a very short console generation, because technology keeps exponentially increasing and people are really going to want a PS5 and Xbox whatever down the road. But with this technology, at least in Xbox's camp, this helps them carry out to more of that traditional 5 to 6 to 7 year life cycle, which I was worried from the beginning, because the Xbox One is slightly less powerful than the PS4, that this would be an issue a lot sooner than it was last generation. But this kind of alleviates a little bit of that. I'd love to hear other publishers and developers come out and say, we are supporting this for our games. One of the first things that pops to mind is, this could be used to excellent effect in Halo Wars, because then you could have as many units on screen as you want on both sides and make it feel like a truly epic war, and there's not a frame rate dip anywhere in sight, which is really hard to do with RTS on console if they've proven on the past. So there's just a lot of really cool stuff they can do with this. I want to hear more, but I think they made the right decision having Crackdown 3 as the poster child for this, because you see that, and it's a game changer. And for me, the game changer was, it wasn't even the announcement of that every building was destructible. It was when they said, you can go inside every building. Every building has an interior, and then you can destroy it. And I was just like, every building has an interior? I don't think anyone's ever even tried to do that before in one of these types of games. That's crazy, and I cannot wait to see more about that. But really, that alone just gets me so pumped for Crackdown 3 that it's like, do I even want to play the single player now? I want to play the ultra version of the game. So many questions. But again, take the time, develop this, make it perfect. I have no problem waiting, because the great thing about, having an Xbox One or PS4 is the third-party support is fantastic on both sides. So we have plenty of amazing third-party games to round out until these big blockbusters start showing up. And they're going to start showing up fast and heavy and hard. And it's exciting, man. So much stuff to talk about. We just talked about 2 games. We even mentioned really a Scalebound. Let me just go into Scalebound for a second, real quick.
Yeah.
What I'm picturing for that 4-player cooperative play is blowing my mind, because even though I saw clear frame rate issues in the single-player portion, and obviously that's a huge thing they're going to have to deal with, just that whole scale of having your dragon being able to fight with you on the ground, and it reacts to fighting another dragon. You kind of have to get out of the way, and that's so cool, man. Really, I'm fanboying out now just because it's Platinum Games, and I know I'm gonna freaking love it. But just that is so cool that they went something different as opposed to making their traditional style of game, kind of like the Transformers Devastation that we saw at E3. That's more their typical style of game, and them going off and doing this RPG type of stuff with large open worlds and cooperative play. Bring it on.
Yeah, awesome. It reminds me of like Panzer Dragoon / Bayonetta type, like that type of style. Right? Am I right or am I wrong?
I can see it. I kind of like the game more because it's not the Bayonetta style. It's not the traditional chain combo action game, and that because it is more of an RPG, that to me opens up more possibilities, honestly, because you're not just relying on your pure technical skill of how high your combos can get. It's more of you working in tandem with your dragon. Obviously you can turn into a little mini dragon yourself, as we saw on the demo, and more importantly, how does the cooperative play work? Because if that is as awesome as my mind is making it up to me, and that's huge. I mean, that plus Crackdown, I mean, that is next gen cooperative play.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're gonna take a short break, and once we come back, man, we have more stuff to talk about.
Dude, there's so much stuff.
A lot of stuff to talk about. So, I know, Paris, you have a review, correct?
Yes.
What do you have?
It is the Logitech G29 racing wheel.
All right, and we're gonna talk about Rare Replay, because I bought my copy, but Poston has a review copy from Microsoft. He sent you a copy, right? We're going to be talking about that. Oh, of course, Mafia 3. Patrick, Mafia 3, are you excited or what?
Don't even you're going to get me too hype. You're going to get me too hype. I am unbelievably, ridiculously, hugely, nerdtastically excited. I can't think of enough adjectives to throw in front of that, but we will talk about that shortly.
And also, of course, fan mail. So we'll be right back after this.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
DraftKings.com, everybody. Baseball is in full swing, and you can be a part of the action all season long at DraftKings.com, which is the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash and instant gratification. Why would you wait to the end of the season to get paid when you can win huge prizes every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just pick 2 pitchers, pick 8 position players, and pick your cash. That's it. Ask Pete. Pete, DraftKings.
Love it.
You love it. Why do you love it?
It's easy. Most of the time, you got to wait to the end of the season, and you don't have to deal with any of that. You don't have to deal with, a 2-hour draft or any of that. No, it's pick it that day. You win money.
So if you're listening to this, use our promo code GamerTag, and you can go to DraftKings.com today and be a part of the $10,000 fantasy baseball contest. That is DraftKings.com. It is the official partner of Major League Baseball. Enter that code GamerTag for a free entry now at DraftKings.com. That is DraftKings.com.
Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
All right, so we're back here, Gamertag Radio, episode 497. Remember, head over to GamerTagRadio.com or play.it and post your comments and feedback and share this content, share this episode with your friends. Let them know why you love Gamertag Radio, and subscribe. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. We're all over, everywhere. So spread the word about GTR. Also, give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Email us, fanmail at gamertagradio.com. Let's start out with this. Mafia 3. I know you guys talked about it last week very quick, and you had some guesses and stuff like what type of game it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Where it's set. I was wrong. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, are you happy with the announcement? I mean, they didn't show much. It was just all video, CGI stuff, but...
Yeah, but to be fair, they had gameplay as well in a separate little video. But yeah, let's just go ahead and cut to the chase. That was one of the best cinematic cutscenes I've seen to introduce a game ever, in terms of like setting you up for the pace, the scale, the tension, the repercussions, if you will, of what we see on screen. So quick rundown, if you haven't seen it yet. You're playing as a black man this time. I think his name is... I don't know his name, actually.
He has a very deep voice.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's for sure.
You're playing as an African-American man. He is returning... It's 1968. He's returning from the Vietnam War. As it alludes to in the trailer, he's an orphan. He didn't have a family originally. He found his brotherhood in the military, and he comes home to a turbulent 1960s racially charged America, to New Orleans, and the game starts off where he has a bad, essentially, interaction with the black mob in New Orleans. Things go south. They get betrayed by the Italian mob, and I assume, stuff goes down. The point is, what it's setting up is basically an organized crime game. But what I like is it's a basis on actual loyalty and trust and respect, which they contrast against, the Italian mob's perspective, which is, honor, a sense of purpose, a sense of family. And I just love how they contrast that so well, of this man, his struggles, what it means for him to be an American, to be a man, to be a leader, if you will, in taking on the Italian mafia. All of that is shown in just in like a 4-minute CGI cutscene, and I'm just like, holy crap, this sounds so unbelievably ambitious. You have the 1960s New Orleans, which hasn't tried to be done in a game before. The music is fantastic. It's some of the best music ever recorded of that decade in 1968. What I've seen a little bit of the gameplay, it's an open world action game, third-person shooter. It has cover, has driving. Everything looked really good, really sharp, really polished. But I think it all just comes down to that mafia style that has been present in the last 2 games. But what they've been able to do now by shifting away from the Italian American perspective to, this other perspective where, basically the concept of feeling alien in your own country and not really having a sense of belonging. So you have to create your own. I mean, there's so many cool concepts I feel like they're going to explore with the story. This is what gets me interested, because I love these types of narrative-driven games, and they've proven in the past, of the past 2 Mafias, that they know how to do this, and they do it very, very well. That just gets me so freaking hyped to play this. Not even from a game standpoint, from an art form standpoint. Like, this is almost like, a film that I want to go see, but I can play it and experience over dozens of hours. So to me, that is a huge plus for the gaming industry, to have these kinds of experiences that kind of say, F you to Hollywood. That 4-minute trailer was better than most of the films I've seen in the last couple of years, because I know the game is going to expand on that exponentially, because they have the time and the growth and the ability to make these amazing character stories. So, again, it's so cool.
Here's the thing that I'm a little bit worried, though. The last game, I liked it, but it felt walking around was very scripted. It was from like point A to point B. It wasn't like games like Grand Theft Auto, this open, you could go everywhere. I just hope that with this game, it's more open than the previous game.
I think it will be, just because that's the way the market leans now. I will defend Mafia 2. I like that about the game. I'm no an extreme minority here, but I liked that the city was built around the story. The city wasn't built around to be your playground. It drove the narrative forward. I like that. A lot of people don't. I think because of what other large games, specifically the success of GTA 5, proved that people like to have fun in open settings, that you will have more activities to do besides the main story. I don't think you'll have that problem, Danny, that you did in the last games.
All right, let's go to the next topic very quick. Paris, I know you have something, the Logitech, you want to review very quick. Go for it, man.
Yeah, so back at E3, Logitech, I had a meeting with them, and I got to see their racing wheel, the G29, which is actually called the Logitech G29 Force Feedback Racing Wheel. So got to see it there at E3, and then shortly after, I got an email from them asking me if I actually wanted to check it out. And I responded, I was like, of course I want to check it out. Are you crazy? Go ahead and send it to me. So they sent me the racing wheel. I've had it for a few weeks now, and the version that I have is for the PlayStation 4, and it also works with the PC. In the next few weeks, they'll also have an Xbox One version as well. But the long and short of it is this. I've always played racing games with a controller. I've never played with a racing wheel at all, ever, because I just think, I'll never buy one of those. Why would I ever get one? I'll just use the controller. I can safely say that since I've been playing, and the games I've been playing Project Cars on the PC, and I've played a little bit of Drive Club on the PlayStation 4, and I've also played some Dirt Rally, which is in Steam Early Access. Obviously, I've been playing it on the PC as well. And I can safely say that since I've been playing those games, I don't know how I'm going to go back to ever playing a racing game with a controller again. That includes Forza, all of them. I freaking love this thing. It is amazing. And the technology that they have in it, this whole force feedback, I mean, literally, like when I'm playing Dirt Rally or I'm playing Project Cars, it's like, if I'm skidding off the road, if there's weather and it's wet and all this stuff, you're feeling it. I mean, it's literally like I'm driving a car. That's how good this thing is. The construction of the racing wheel is solid. It's fantastic. Everything about it is durable. I love it. It's $399, which I know is very expensive for a lot of people's budgets out there, but for the hardcore racing fans, if you're really into racing, like I can't wait for Gran Turismo 7 now when that comes out on the PlayStation 4, because I'm absolutely going to be playing this thing with this racing wheel, because it truly mimics the driving experience. I've never had that before. I can say I am absolutely. I can't compare this to any other racing wheels because I've never used them, as I said on the top. But this G29 is a hotness. It is fantastic. And another thing, even the construction, like when you're setting it up on your desk, I mean, it bolts right into my desk. You have the actual pedals, which again is simulated in the gas and the brake and all that. And they have a separate accessory if you want to use the manual controls, where you can literally stick shift with this thing. That didn't come with the unit that I had. You have to buy it separately. But just again, if you're hardcore into the racing stuff, this is definitely a wheel you want to check out.
A quick question. How big is this?
Huge. It's huge.
So like, let's say I want to set it up. Do I need like a big table? Like, yes. How is the setup that you have?
Yeah, you need a table, because I'm playing this in my office, so I'm playing this on my actual office, obviously on my office desk. And yeah, you're gonna need a good piece of real estate on the top of your desk to set everything up. And again, another thing about this is, because like I said, I have the PlayStation 4 version. All the PlayStation 4 controls are right there. So I don't even need a separate controller to get into the dashboard, to navigate and do all that kind of stuff. All that is right there on the racing wheel itself. But it's, again, this is not for the casual racer. This is definitely geared for the hardcore crowd. So yeah, you're going to need a complete setup to be able to mount this racing wheel. You're going to need space under your desk for the pedals and everything.
And the does it shake like when you're racing? And
yes, that's what I'm saying.
How's the feeling of that? Like
you're in a real car.
Nice.
Seriously, I mean that's what I'm tripping on. It's like when I'm playing Project Cars and I'm going around the laps and doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're literally you're skidding across or whatever. The wheel, you're getting feedback like you would as if you were in a real car. That's awesome. How good this racing wheel is.
That's really, really
Holy
cool.
crap, Paris. I think you just sold me on this. Like, literally, I'm looking at pictures of you guys you're talking about. And Paris, like, I used to use, like, wheels back in the PS2 day, and they were just, honestly, pieces of junk.
Yeah.
What you're describing is what, obviously, I think I've always wanted. Because, I mean, I love driving my car in real life, and I love racing games, but I've always had to settle for the controller. But, like, what you've described versus what I'm seeing and picturing, like, I really want this.
Yeah, and like I said, the one barrier to entry is the price. $399. You're basically buying another console to buy this thing.
But it's sturdy, right? It's a premium product you think will last a while.
Exactly. This is a premium product. You know, like the one thing I would pause against is Xbox One owners, because you're only playing this on the Xbox One. You're not, at least having the PlayStation 4 version of the wheel. I can play it on the PlayStation 4, and I have the whole library of PC games that I can play as well. Whereas you're limited to whatever is on the Xbox One. And again, this is geared at the hardcore racing fans. So maybe just playing Forza and things like that would be enough on the Xbox One. I don't know. But the fact that I can play Project Cars, I can do Dirt Rally. When Gran Turismo comes out, I can do that as well. You know, and even, like I said, Drive Club. Well, look, that's for another conversation for another day. You can play games like that. There's more of a variety, so I'm going to get more use out of the wheel than just playing the one specific racing game. Because, like, again, if you're on Xbox One, you're playing Forza. That's what you're playing. You may play Forza Horizon or something like that too, but you want to play a simulator. So if you're playing the true racing simulating experience, you're going to play a Gran Turismo, you're going to play a Forza, you're going to play something like Project Cars, or you're going to do something like Dirt Rally. So it's a premium price. I can't stress that enough, because I know people probably had a heart attack when I said $399, but I guarantee
wake up.
Yeah. But I guarantee you, people that are looking forward to Gran Turismo, that play it hardcore, like they get a PlayStation 4 just to play Gran Turismo, you're going to want to get this. That's how strongly I feel about this. And trust me, if you'd asked me this 2 months ago, I'd have been like, man, hell no, I'm not spending $399 on a racing wheel. But this is a premium product, just very built, just everything about it is just fantastic. I really like it, and I came away very impressed.
All right. So, Pawson, let's talk about Rare Replay, which I've been playing out since midnight of launch day, a couple days ago. For those that don't know, this is the 30th anniversary of Rare, and they've been, making a lot of games throughout the years from way, way, way back then. And the cool thing is that, if you have one of those, like, your favorite Nintendo 64 games that Rare develop, they're in this collection too, man. As a matter of fact, there was an article a couple of days ago that I read that the Xbox One has more Nintendo 64 games than the actual Wii U. That's kind of funny, right? And it was because of this Rare collection. 30 games for $30. I'm not saying that every single game is perfect. It's for everyone, but man, they have some classics that will make you just try it out and play. Conquer game, the Banjo-Kazooie, which is, like, to me, is like the best game from there. Yeah. Even the new one from the 360, the last one is there. Perfect Dark Zero. Dude, I've been playing a lot of RC Pro-Am, a lot, part 1 and part 2. And I think Paris was asking me before we start recording, hey, do you see the Nintendo word at the bottom? And I'm like, nope, it says champion. So, it's cool. And not only that, you can unlock a lot of videos in there.
The making of these games, old concept art. The neat one I saw was, like, old game concepts they had to throw away because, game development hell kind of stuff. I love that. The whole Rare concept, the Rare Vault, collecting stamps, rewarding you for playing their games, getting certain thresholds. I was like you, I really have no attachment to any of the early arcade games that Rare made back in the day. From an objective standpoint, I could look at them and be like, oh, wow, these are cool games for 1983, 1984. They're just not my style. But again, once you hit that N64 golden era, I mean, like, as you said, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, things like that, I adore them. The one thing I have to get off my chest, because it just irked me, is I'm kind of really sad that we got the Nintendo 64 version of Conquer and not the superior original Xbox version, Reloaded, which was just better in every way.
No, that is Reloaded. That's the one from the Xbox.
No, that is the N64 game.
No, they have the multiplayer game in there.
But it's the multiplayer from N64. My point is, it's still the same graphical quality and the same game as N64 experience, as opposed to the original Xbox version when they added, for instance, fur. Like there actually was fur textures on the characters. Yeah, they made it all look really eye-poppingly, essentially next gen for the original Xbox. I adored that game. I kind of wish it was also on there or replaced N64, but really that's a gripe for me. Because again, the original game is still a classic. It's still very much worth. But obviously, other than that minor gripe and the fact that it will never get GoldenEye ever again, because that is the ultimate licensing hells being held by people that own the Bond films, Nintendo and Microsoft and Rare. It's never going to work. But I really like what they had on display.
Yeah,
it's cool. And the fact that everything runs so smoothly at 60 frames per second and loads really quickly, and all the menus are well integrated and seamlessly transition. I just like the whole design style. It's just designed to make you enjoy playing these games. Don't have to suffer through menus. I like that you can quick launch games with Y and skip that whole, making of kind of stuff like that. Really cool collection.
I have one game that was a little bit slow. I don't know why.
Oh, which one?
The Banjo-Kazooie Bolts and Nuts?
Nuts and Bolts. Oh, yeah. I haven't played that one yet, so I can't talk about it.
Well, that one, I played it, and there were certain situations that it slowed down for a bit. I don't know why, because I never had that issue with the original game for the 360.
Strange.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Today there was an update, so I don't know if that.
I know the update fixed Jet Force Gemini because the controls they launch with are really, really terrible, and they went ahead and patched that out to make it, left stick is move, right stick is aim, things as it should be. Yeah, but other than that, everything else ran well. I'll guess when we review it next week, I'll get back to you to see if I have any slowdown with any of the games. But I still haven't gotten to Viva Pinata 1 or 2 yet. I haven't gotten to Cameo yet. I went chronologically up the list, starting with the old stuff, trying to get current. But yeah, it's really cool package. We'll talk. We have a full review next week. We'll totally get all over it. But $1 a game, man. That's a pretty damn good part.
And very quick, I'll before we go to the next spot, I also been playing a lot of Battletoads and a Battletoads arcade. I was never a fan of. Not a fan. I never got to play like the Battletoads arcade until now. This is like my first time, and I really like it.
It's my first time. Good catch, Danny. I honestly never understood the appeal of Battletoads because I played it a little bit later in life, and I just don't like that style of game. But I played arcade, which first off, I didn't even know existed because I was way too young in '94. I really like that game a lot, Danny.
It's fun. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
It really is. Like it reminds me of the old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle X-Men beat 'em up games, and has 3 players. And I'm like, crap, I don't have the third Xbox One controller because this looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, shout out to that game. I totally didn't even know that existed. And Killer Instinct is on there. Cool stuff, man.
Yeah, very cool. We'll talk more about it next week.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Guys, it's about that time, my favorite part, which you don't have Pete here to finish it off, but it's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
All right, so we have... Well, who was that? Who tried it?
The fact you said who was that makes me win. I'm done.
That was you?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. All right. So, yeah, we're going to be reading some... we don't have that many emails. I have a couple voicemails, but I'm going to save that for next week. But let's go with Omar. He sent out a question. Here goes. Hello, Gamertag Radio. I want to start by congratulating Danny, Pete, Patrick, and Paris for all your hard work to deliver a well-thought-out episode of Gamertag Radio each week. It is my favorite video game podcast out of all the ones I listen to. You guys have taken GTR to the next level. Well, thank you, Omar.
Thank you, man.
His question is, out of all the games coming out this year, what are your top 3? His is Fallout 3, Destiny, and The Taken King, of course, and Forza 6. What are your top 3? Well, let me start off because I'll let Paris and Patrick think for a bit there. Top 3, Halo 5, Fallout 4, and of course, I'm thinking of an indie game. Little Cup?
Cuphead. But it's 20,
my God.
It's 2016.
It's
2016?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll erase that. I'm not saying that. Well, you know what? Forza 6. I'll go with Forza.
Now, is he asking games that have yet to come out?
Yeah, it's coming out later this year.
Oh,
coming
sorry.
out this year.
I guess I can't hear good. I guess my 3 would be Fallout 4. And, I'm trying to think of the second one. I mean, look, we already know. We know what the third one is. Fallout 4. That's a good question.
Really? Faris, really? No, wait,
because it's not Metal Gear anymore. And we can get into this another day, but I'm not playing that game until 2016 for my own personal reasons.
Wow. Okay.
Fallout 4. I keep wanting to say Tomb Raider, so I guess I'll say Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah,
and then obviously Taken King. Who are we fooling there? Of course,
Nobody.
Damn, I was trying to have non-Destiny talk, but it came out. Damn it.
Well, we actually should have Destiny talk after this, but.
First off, I got to be different. I'm going to put Destiny as that strong 4th place. Like, it's just outside because, I love Destiny, but, I kind of want those new experiences, which is ironic because I'm about to name sequels. It's the games I actually want. But for me, Fallout 4, obviously, we all want that. Because Paris said it, I'm Metal Gear Solid 5 right up there because I just absolutely adore that 25-hour movie that I get to play every couple of years. And really, I'm going to say Tomb Raider. I would say Rainbow Six because I think that's kind of a given now, kind of like the Gears 1 Ultimate Edition. I know I want them to get it. But seeing the new footage at Gamescom of Tomb Raider, I'm all on board because that's what I like so much about the original one was putting Lara in those extraordinary circumstances and situations where it seems hopeless, but she always finds a way to overcome it. So I'm very much looking forward to cranking that game to the hardest difficulty setting. Let me get shot one time and I die because I'm going to take all those guys down and go raid all those tombs and be the best adventurer ever because I love that game. It's just the sense of empowerment and sense of wonderment and mystery to it. As games go more and more science fiction, I love things like Tomb Raider that, go out and explore the world kind of concepts, kind of like Fallout 4, what it does. But yeah, that's okay.
All right, so
actually, I have to jump in because I'm an idiot. It ain't Tomb Raider. It's Halo 5 with right behind it Rainbow Six would be my number 4. What am I thinking? It'd be Halo 5, despite me. And we'll get into that in the fan mail question I got. But
yeah. So you want me to read it very quick? It's long.
I'll read it because I want to paraphrase it because, like you said, this is way too long. But Dave from the UK sent us an email. Thank you. We appreciate that. And it's titled Halo Talk ! And he took us to task for last week because of the comments that we had about Halo 5 and the fact that we may or may not necessarily believe the developers for cutting out the reasons for cutting out the split screen co-op, which, I did say at the end that, no, I actually believe them because they wouldn't take it out, if they didn't have a justified reason because they know that's a big feature for all the previous Halo fans. But then we also got into the discussion that Pete and I were having where we were talking about the campaign and I was talking about why I didn't like the campaign and we were saying what maybe some of the influences may have been. And we brought up Destiny, we brought up Borderlands, and we brought up XCOM. And, Dave, again, thank you for the email. We really appreciate it. And I'll just elaborate on this again. To say, especially after seeing this multiplayer trailer that they had at Gamescom with the arena stuff, this is not your grandfather's Halo anymore. And look, I could be 100% wrong, and I hope I'm 100% wrong. Trust me. But I am not feeling this campaign at all. And I can tell you right now, I won't be playing arena. It's an esport. This is geared for esport. This, like everything that they showed at Gamescom, that's for esports. Actually, I don't think that should have been the presentation that they had at Gamescom personally, because you alienated probably 75% of your audience seeing that because you did the whole esports announcer thing. And most people are like, well, what the hell is this? Most people aren't going to care enough about that. Most people are, look, the majority is the casual fan. The casual fan just wants to play with their buddies. They want to play Halo. They don't care about the $1 million prize that none of us will ever have the skill set, or I'm way too old anyways to be able to be good enough to ever win that $1 million. We don't care about that stuff. That is something that they should have premiered at the Dota championships or something like that. That should not have been at Gamescom, in my personal opinion. But going back to that campaign, I just, that's not Halo. I mean, I won't repeat what I said last week, but for me, that is not Halo. And again, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Even though read an article today, they're saying that campaign is going to be twice the size of Halo 4, which, hey, great. But I also wonder, is it twice the size because you're trying to tell Master Chief's story, and you're trying to tell Locke's story, and you're trying to tell Captain Mal's story, and you're trying to tell everyone else's story of all these characters that are in the campaign now that I don't necessarily care about. Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe like thinking about it though, Paris, it makes sense. It might be a situation like you choose the character that you want, and they have a different type of stories.
I doubt.
I don't want that. That's not Halo though, Dan.
That's not Halo, but that's not Halo. But at the same time, if it's twice as longer as 4, then it's something. Don't you want to see something new with Halo instead of seeing the same type of thing over and over? Because I think that having the same Halo now in 2015, similar to Halo 1 and 2 from back in the days, I think that's not going to push the game to the masses.
I don't
they
disagree.
have to make changes.
I agree with
some changes we're not going to agree with it, but at the same time, if it's fun, entertaining, yes, it's not the original exactly, because I'm a fan of the older Halos, of course, but I give them a chance, man. Like, let's see how it is, and then we will talk.
Yes.
And one more thing, we were very disappointed with the multiplayer of the Master Chief Collection. Now they went 100% and they made changes. Like, I love the Warzone. That's like my top thing right now of the game. Hey, at least they're making changes and making it better. That I don't want to be in a situation I buy the game and I can't play the multiplayer. And I think Halo is all about the multiplayer. As much as we like the single player, is all about the multiplayer. Am I right or wrong?
I mean,
no, you're correct. Let me say this. Go ahead. I do not disagree with you, Danny. I do want change. My issue is this too much change? If you see what I mean. Because at the end of the day, you want these longtime franchise. Like, let's take Mario Brothers, for example. You have your core Mario Brothers game, right? But then you have Mario Galaxy. That was a radical change from what Mario was when it originally came out back in '85. But at its soul, it was still Mario Brothers. I just worry, are we getting too far away from what made Halo Halo? What made the sandbox be the sandbox? And the reason I bring this up again, my biggest gripe is not that there's 4-player co-op. I'm fine with that. It's that there's this AI 4-player co-op that they're always with me. So now these levels have been changed from what Halo originally was. And I just worry about you're downing your enemies and you pick people up and stuff like it's Gears of War or Destiny or something. That's not Halo, So there's concern on my part. But just like I said, when you ask what my top 3 games is, I'm still going to be there on October 27th playing it. Are you crazy? Of course I am. I'm going to play Halo.
Why you buying it for?
Because I'm a Halo fan and I will support the game and I will not prejudge a game that I have not played the final product of. You see what I mean? I am a Halo fan, so of course I'm going to pick it up. Now, I reserve the right to come on this podcast after October 27th and say I was right and I hate it and I don't want to play it anymore. I hope I'm wrong, is what I'm trying to say. The multiplayer, Warzone, we played it. I love Warzone. Arena stuff, I didn't feel it in the beta. I haven't seen anything to change my mind from what I thought on the beta. So I will give it a chance, but there's a high probability it's not something I'm going to stick to long term. And look, I just hope the campaign grabs me and I was like, man, hurry up and give me Halo 6. I truly want that to happen.
Yeah. Look, I think before Poston will say something very quick, I think the way how they could pull this off is depend on the playlist. Have a playlist for the pro gamers, but have a playlist that for us, the casual. I'm not a crazy, e-sport type of guy, but have a list that I have choices and where I could find my type of people within the community that I could play with, and we're just having fun. It's not about like being a professional gamer and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all depends on that. So, in my opinion, multiplayer wise. So, Patrick, would like to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say. I mean, I will, I guess, defend 343 on that decision. I think that's what they were going for, Danny, by separating Warzone and Arena into 2 distinctive multiplayer modes, because Warzone is going to be what you were explaining, where you get in the Warthog with your buddies, you go have a crazy awesome good time, and you don't like micromanage and worry about enemy positions, enemy respawn times, power up and respawn times, all these things that the pros think about. You can separate that into the Arena. That's cool. For me, it's honestly going to come down to just playing with you guys and having a good time. The same thing with the campaign. I'm kind of just not looking forward to playing the game by myself. I'll certainly give it a shot to get, their traditional experience. But, if you're giving me 3 AI buddies, I want to turn those into people as soon as possible. I don't want robots following me around and me having to babysit them or pick them up. Really, other than that, we've been over this a million times. At this point, we kind of just have to just shut up and wait for the game to come out, because we pretty much have seen, honestly, as much as really they're going to show it at us. We're just going to have the marketing blitz, the media blitz start from here, not end until the game comes out. But the only thing I got to take a shot at the game, which really kind of irrationally pissed me off, is in Arena, when they were showing that competitive match, the fact that your enemies glow the color of their team is so unbelievably dumb. Because now you can look through walls, you can see where all your teammates are, and their little glowing blue or red dots, and anytime you visually look at the enemy, they glow red or blue. And it just completely it just feels like a slap in the face of what Halo was in terms of having to call out enemy locations and how important that was, of calling out where you died, where the enemy was, if they had low health, if they were one shot. And now it's just they're glowing little red and blue beacons that run around and you shoot them. And I really hate that. I hope that's something you can disable on your end at least. Because if that's an actual feature in the game, I don't think I'll be the only one that'll be upset about that, because I think it's
we didn't see that. Did we?
It was very obvious when they played the multiplayer competitive match. Paris, you know what I'm talking about? How the enemies glow
Warzone?
Their team?
We got to see
the Arena.
No, in Arena.
Okay.
Well, like you said, Danny, you like Arena. Obviously, it sounds like Paulston and I do not. And look, we're probably in the minority.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's the greatest thing on earth, but it was fun. It was fun.
But one thing.
Go ahead, Barris.
One thing that did come. I'm sorry, but one thing that did come out. I heard in Gamescom is 343 is looking to bring back Big Team Battle. It probably won't be there at launch, but maybe like a month or so afterwards.
That's fine. Hey, as long as they'll be adding updates, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I think they will constantly update it. Yeah.
Look, let's get something crystal clear here before the hate mail starts flowing in that I'm a Halo hater. I'm not a Halo hater. It's quite the opposite. I freaking love Halo. So I think I'm more critical of Halo than the average person would be, because I want it to be perfection. You know what I mean? Yep. So when I see something that I don't necessarily agree with, I'm just going to voice my opinion. But hopefully, end of the day, October 27th, we're doing a four-player co-op campaign on Legendary, and I freaking love it, and I come on here singing the praises of Halo. I really hope that happens.
We should do that. We should play that night. I'm taking that day off from work, and we'll play multiplayer at night, and we'll see what happens from there. We'll play in Legendary all together, man. I'm down for that.
Totally, let's do it.
Yeah. And then eventually game nights where everybody else too.
I miss game nights so much. This is the perfect year to start this back. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out.
Definitely, man. All right, so we're going to wrap it up, guys. Head over to gamertagradio.com. Post your comments and feedback. Share it with your friends, or head over to play.it. Give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Or email us, fanmail@gamertagradio.com. Remember, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all these places. We're everywhere. So subscribe and give us a review, all that good stuff. So anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
Well, I do.
Destiny Talk Radio.
We should have like theme music or something at this point.
We need it.
No, just real quick on Destiny Talk Radio. Obviously, new Taken King information's come out here at Gamescom. I will not go back over every little detail, other than to say the changes that they're making. If you were playing Destiny before and you got out, I think it's time to get back. They're literally fixing damn near every gripe I had for year one with the Taken King. And I think it's just moving forward. It's going to be a more robust and more engaging game that you'll be able to play that you want to. And I'll say on this final note, a little birdie told me that there's still some more surprises to come.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I like to hear.
What about you, Patrick?
No, I'm good. Honestly, I'm just following Paris's everywhere, because I honestly have that Destiny fever. I said this last week, but I'm trying to wait until Taken King comes out. I don't know if I'll make it that long, especially if they start doing cool things to build up to Taken King. But yeah, I mean, I'm invested. I got, a level 33 Warlock, level 32 Hunter. I'm still need to get past Skolas. I need to go back and finish that. It's a mark of shame on me as a gamer. But yeah, I'm so excited for Destiny, and the more I hear about it, the more it gets me pumped, because, as we all said, it took them a year to figure it out, and I think they're finally know what they want to do, and from now it's going to be badassery all around. So
they're going to have more in the future, too.
Do your thing.
Oh, yeah. One last thing on that, and then I'll shut up about Destiny, I promise. We should get Deej back on before launch, I think. I think that'd be a good idea.
Make it happen, Paris.
I will.
Make it happen.
Look, my little birdie probably won't be allowed to, but we probably get Deej.
All right, guys. We're out until next week. Hit us up, gamertagradio.com. Peace.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week.